everybody, Con Maestro here. Welcome to the Con's Court. Today we have something interesting to talk about. I just completed Doom: The Dark Ages about a day ago. Very, very good game. This is going to be my review of the game now that I have completely finished it, went through the entire story, and have collected most to, if not all of the things in the game that you possibly can. I wanted to go ahead and now finally review that. We're going to do this mullet style as I always do. We're going to have a spoiler-free review for the first about 5 minutes at the beginning of the video, and for the last however many minutes, that will be the mullet of the review. It will be the part where all the spoils are in the back. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get this started. Without spoiling anything, this game is an amazing game. When I was playing it, it just continued to get more, badass. As it finally continued to go through, the more I played it, the crazier it got, the more metal it got. And all I can say is that at the end of the day, this is definitely a Doom game that just completely succeeds in going above and beyond my expectations. You know, I was expecting a certain level of craziness, and I feel like this game took what I was expecting and went to level 9 with it, as most Doom games do. I mean, you're expecting Doom, but then every game gives you a little bit more than you expected. And I like that about the Doom franchise. I like that it goes above and beyond for its fans. It goes above and beyond for Easter eggs. It goes above and beyond for the characters, the lore, and for the main character, the Doomslayer / Doom guy. This story basically kind of is a beginning of the legend type story. So without spoiling too much of the specifics, this is basically the beginning of the legend of the Doomslayer. This whole story is basically the very beginning of all the junk that you hear in Doom 2016, Doom 2018. It kind of gives you an origin story of why the Doomslayer is so well known, why he has a foothold when it comes to respect and pride in any type of faction in the Doom universe. Once you get to 2016, 2018, once you get to those games, this basically explains why the Doomslayer is so well known, why he is known to be the badass that he is. And basically this is the beginning of his reign of straight ripping and tearing. His beginning of that mission to destroy and eliminate all there is of hell and the demons. And in a way, it kind of gives you even more added motivation as to why the Doomslayer does what he does. We know there's the obvious origins that are still in hold. The death of his pet bunny, the death of his family, all of that stuff when he was known as Doom Guy in the earlier Doom games before he was named the Doomslayer. Eventually, Doom Guy had those motivations. But now, as we continue through his story, now that we get into the Dark Ages, there's even more motivations that this game brings up, showing why he hates the demons so much, why he hates hell so much, and why he will continue to eliminate every demon he possibly can. It's just, this game is an amazing game, from all of the weapons, from all of the characters, all of the enemies, all of the, just everything. The scenery, the setting, the maps, the lore, it's just insane. It goes over and above and beyond in so many different ways. I love this game. It is so fun to play. It is very fluid. It is very challenging at times. This game is very challenging. It sticks and holds up to the same level as all the other Doom games when it comes to it getting a little bit more difficult as you go down the line, and this game definitely holds that standard. It gets more difficult as you go on. Just the way that it should. It feels nitty gritty and it feels metal as hell. And that's exactly what I want from a Doom game. It does not get much better than this. Now that we've hit the 5-second mark, or 5 minute, I apologize, not 5 second, 5 minute mark. That is the end of my spoiler-free review. I'm going to go ahead and rate it first before you guys go ahead and go. I'm going to rate this game a 9.9 out of 10. If I was to rate this game out of the 3 most recent Doom games, I would probably have it at Doom 2016 as number 3, number 2 being Doom the Dark Ages, and then number 1 being Doom Eternal. That's the way I would look at it. We are going to be getting more DLC from what I understand for Doom the Dark Ages. So with that being said, there is a very, very, very big chance that Doom the Dark Ages will either tie with Doom Eternal for me and or exceed and excel past that. There's just far too much content with Doom Eternal when you go from the base game to part 1 and 2 of Battle of the Gods. You're basically getting 3 games in one. You're getting the main big game, you're getting one small part and another small part of another game, basically, and it's all bundled into one. So that's why Doom Eternal for me is held to number 1. It just has far more content, and at the end of the day, it has more Easter eggs and all that other junk. I just feel at the end of the day, Doom Eternal, as of right now, is number 1. We have yet to see Doom the Dark Ages fully fleshed out to its full potential. There is still a high probability it will finally overscale Doom Eternal. But as of right now, for me, in my opinion, it has not yet reached there, but it is literally neck to neck, like right here, very close. So let's go ahead and move on to the spoiler review. We're going to go ahead and move on from the spoiler free. If you guys do not want to be spoiled, I suggest you go ahead, get off this video, and go play the game. If you don't want to be spoiled and you want to go ahead and play the game and find out all this stuff for yourself, I suggest you go do that. Go ahead and leave. Come back once you've done played the game, and go ahead and you can listen to the rest of this review. If you don't care about spoilers, then you can go ahead and continue watching this, and I will continue. We are now at the mullet style part of the review. We're going to go ahead and bring out the spoilers. So, when it comes to the main characters that are super important about this game, it comes down to the Doomslayer himself, King Novik, Commander Thera, Prince Azrak, Bishop Creed, the Old One, and the Witch. Those are basically the main characters that you will be focusing on in this game. They are the main focal points of this game, and they are the most important parts of this game. Everything else is, for the most part, a side character or a side enemy or villain or anything else like that. Not very important. They don't hold a very big stake in the actual story. They're just there, kind of the filler characters and everything else like that. Those like 6 characters, those 7 characters, are the main focal point. So you're also in a couple different areas. We have the actual city of the Night Sentinels. You have the dimension, the domain of hell. And you also end up having the cosmic realm. Those are the 3 main areas of this game. You don't really, at least from what I can remember to my knowledge, you don't ever go to Earth. You don't go to the moon, you don't go to Mars, you don't go to any of that stuff that we do in Doom Eternal. This is all in different realms outside of the Earth. Doomslayer being a human, an earthling, he is the only person that is of that kind of galaxy, that dimension, that is in this story. This story mainly takes place in the Night Sentinels kingdom, King Novik's kingdom, back during that Dark Ages time period, back during the Dark Ages time period of the Night Sentinels, kind of that big castle area that we got to see the ruins of in Doom Eternal. And like I said, the cosmic realm, hell, that stuff. So that is basically where we are at. The story is essentially, like I said, the origins of the Doomslayer's legend. The legend of the Doomslayer, not Doom Guy. Separate legend. Doom Guy and the Doomslayer are the exact same person, as it was confirmed by the lore that you find out in the story of Doom Eternal. You get to see Doom Guy being dragged by the priests, the demons, or whatever else like that, and he is also the Doomslayer. So Doom Guy and Doomslayer, two different names, same people, two different time periods in the story. Doom Guy is essentially the creation of the Doomslayer, like, to start becoming who the Doomslayer is. So Doom Guy is the human, the man that lost his family, lost his pet bunny, was his family and everybody else that he loved and knew got massacred and destroyed by demons. The demons trying to take over and do all their junk. And basically you have the first Doom games where all that junk's kind of happening. And you've got the Doom Guy basically fighting against all the forces of hell for forever inside of hell. Eventually he becomes this hardened soldier of justice. He becomes this hardened warrior, and he ends up getting basically taken by the what do you call it? The what are they called? Like the angels, essentially. The con makers, like people. The makers. That's what they're called. The makers. Gets taken by the makers and is put into servitude as a enslaved soldier, basically. Doom Guy is. And he is given armor that we know of, kind of the Night Sentinel looking armor that we know, and he becomes the Doomslayer that we know. So the Doomslayer is now his name, is his new title, essentially. He becomes the Slayer. His title of Doom Guy is no longer a thing. He's no longer a guy, no longer a man for the most part. He is something completely different. Although he is an Earthling, he is human, he is something else. Something that this universe has not seen before. Something overtly powerful. And now we are entering basically the origins of the Doomslayer's legend, the beginning, the build-up. And that's what this whole game is. And it's really, really cool. So essentially the story from that point is the Doomslayer is being used by the makers to protect the Night Sentinel's land and to basically stop the war between the demons and Hell's realm and the Night Sentinel realm, essentially. That is what's happening. Bishop Creed is the main overseer of the Doomslayer. He is the one that has Doomslayer enslaved, has him in his ship, and uses him as a weapon to do the Maker's bidding and to basically do what he can to stop the horde of Hell. That is what his job is. And his sole purpose is to make sure that he is safe, his ships are safe, and the Makers are safe. He works for the Con Maker. That is who he is ordered by. That's basically it. That's who that character is. He's using the Doomslayer as a weapon. The Slayer eventually does not like it, breaks out of the Bishop's control, and starts continuing his mission on killing Hell and the demons and everything else like that, but on his own accord, on his own mission, and of his own will, not under the control of the Bishop. He does not like the Bishop. He does not like any of the Makers. They are 9 times out of 10 in his way. So he does not like them. The Night Sentinels at the very beginning of the game don't quite like the Doomslayer. They fear him, as do the demons. They all basically fear the Doomslayer and what he's capable of. And King Novik does not see him as one of them. Even though he trained with them, he's got their armor, essentially, all of that junk, fights alongside of them at the beginning, does not like the Doomslayer and does not count him as one of them. He is the least of his concern King Novik's only concern is his people and making sure that the demons are slain and the war ends. Prince Azrak is trying to completely destroy the Night Sentinels, take over the Night Sentinels area, rule all the realms that he possibly can, whether it be the cosmic realm, whether it be the realm of the Night Sentinels, whether it be the Maker's realm, whether it be heaven, hell, or earth, or the moon, or Mars. Everything in existence he wants to control and to rule. He is the prince of hell, and he wants to rule more than just hell. He unified the demons in hell, unified all of them, turned them into a giant war party, and is essentially trying to take over anything and everything that he can because he thinks he deserves it. This is obviously before Dvorath or whatever, the actual god / Satan, the devil, is released. So this is before all of that. The current ruler of hell is Prince Azrak. He takes the witch, who is originally from the cosmic realm. She is a witch who joins Prince Azrak to essentially create a mutual partnership in controlling all the other realms, and to conquer more realms for not only Prince Azrak, but for her god. This witch worships a very, very powerful old god. A celestial from a completely other realm, the cosmic realm. And this god is called the Old One, aka Cthulhu. Cthulhu is a Lovecraftian monster, as anybody who knows of Cthulhu would know. He is a very, very powerful entity, a powerful old god. In the Doom the Dark Ages, kind of in the Doom universe, he is not nearly as powerful as he is in the Lovecraftian lore, but he is still a very, very powerful being. And he is more powerful than the witch. He is more powerful than Prince Azrak, and he is more powerful than King Novik and all of them. He was entrapped in the Night Sentinels world, the kind of their dimension, I believe, by the Makers. The Con Makers, or the Con Maker and the Makers, I believe, actually entrapped and not enslaved, but basically contained the Old One, Cthulhu, because he was trying to conquer and take over and destroy things on his own, being who he is. So with that being said, they kind of had to put a stop to him. The witch is needing help from Prince Azrak to finally release her god from that realm, and that is why she is helping Prince Azrak take over the Night Sentinel realm, not only to take it over for her god, but to also free him from his shackles. The Doomslayer ends up releasing the Old One, Cthulhu, so that he can make his way to the cosmic realm by following Cthulhu. He latches onto his back using his shield, makes his way to the cosmic realm because the Prince of Hell took King Novik's daughter, Commander Thera. Commander Thera is the Heart of Argent, essentially. The Heart of Argent is a very, very powerful person. At first, they thought it was just an element, type of a tool, a weapon that the Night Sentinels had possession of. It turns out the daughter of the king of the Night Sentinels, King Novik, his daughter Commander Thera, actually is the main weapon. She is the Heart of Argent. She is essentially a being who has the essence of an old Sentinel god. So the Night Sentinels had a god or whatever, an old celestial that ruled over them, kind of who they worshipped or whatever, was essentially their version of like a god or whatever else like that. And that old god lives inside of her, a very, very powerful being, who can be harnessed and put inside of a little capsule, and whoever takes that capsule can use the powers of that old ancient Night Sentinel god. which is insane. That is what Prince Azrak is after. He's hoping to take over the Night Sentinel's realm, defeat King Novik, defeat all of them, take the Heart of Argent, and then once he takes the Heart of Argent, he will become a empowered Prince of Hell, and he will become so powerful that nobody will be able to stop him. Except the Doomslayer. He did not think the Doomslayer would be able to defeat him, and yet the Doomslayer ends up defeating him. He defeats the Old One. He defeats Cthulhu, kills Cthulhu. He defeats the Witch. He kills the Witch. He defeats the Prince of Hell, Prince Azrak, kills him even in his super powerful state, when he has the Heart of Argent inside of him, when he has that celestial god or whatever empowering him, making his power like tenfold, 100-fold, however powerful he became. At first he was beating the Doomslayer, he was putting hands on him, he killed his dragon. Doomslayer got pissed because the dragon's his pet, ends up killing, he beats Prince Azrak. Prince Azrak retreats with the Witch back to his realm after Cthulhu was murdered by the Doomslayer. And then in the realm of Hell, Commander Thera, with her new powers from the Heart of Argent, fully unlocked and her able to wield it, King Novik, and basically all the other Night Sentinels go to raid Hell, take it over. The Doomslayer goes after Prince Azrak and the Witch and kills them in Hell. The Doomslayer then takes Prince Azrak's head, throws it, after he decapitates the prince, throws his decapitated head out to the demons, and all of the demons immediately run away. They are in fear. And that is the beginning of the Doomslayer's legend. The legend of the one thing that all the demons in Hell fear. The only thing they fear. The Doomslayer. Cue the music. So yeah, that is basically the story. Essentially, it is the Prince of Hell trying to get a super powerful weapon to make himself more powerful and to be able to take over all the realms he wants. The witch that he's working with is trying to free her god and to be able to take over those realms as well for her god, to add them to the cosmic realm. And then the Doomslayer essentially stops all of that. The Bishop Creed, who was the guy that enslaved the Doomslayer for the Makers, he actually ended up becoming evil. He double-crossed the Doomslayer, double-crossed the Night Sentinels, and double-crossed the Makers. He tried joining Prince Azrak and the Witch's side, and Cthulhu's side. Tried to join them because he was worried that he was going to be killed by Prince Azrak, and so he ended up saying, no, you know what I mean, I'm going to go ahead and join you. We're going to entrap the Doomslayer, we're going to kill him, whatever else, and we're going to take over all these realms together. I'm going to work with you, and then we can take over the Makers. He just wanted to basically live. He was a coward. The Doomslayer ends up killing him to get revenge for him enslaving him, and to get revenge for him backstabbing and betraying the Night Sentinels, him, all of them. That's essentially what ends up happening to him. So the Witch dies, the Old One, Cthulhu, dies, the Bishop Creed dies, Prince Azrak dies, King Novik lives and continues to rule his realm as a very good leader and king. And then Commander Thera continues to rule beside her father, now imbued with those powers of the Heart of Argent, now a super powerful warrior for the Night Sentinels. And the Doomslayer stays in Hell after killing the prince using the Bishop Creed's ship. Now that it is abandoned, he takes that ship down to Hell, and he essentially uses it as a vehicle so he can run around Hell and defeat all the demons that he can. The Doomslayer's main mission being rip and tear until it is done, kill them all. He wants to destroy Hell. So that is what he stays and does. That is essentially where the story stops. I'm assuming the lore will continue as we get more DLC. We will be getting more DLC for this game, and I am super excited for that. I can't wait to see how that all goes. The lore and the story is absolutely amazing, as you hear. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. Even gathering some lore from some other stuff, other universes like Cthulhu from Lovecraft and stuff like that. It's crazy. This story was so good. I had so much fun playing this. The realms were super cool to explore. All the different extras and Easter eggs were amazing. I loved all of them. I'm trying to think. The weapons were really cool too. I loved all of the weapons. Excuse me. They were very, very cool to use. My favorite weapon was probably the chain mace, which is actually what he uses to kill the Prince of Hell, which is very, very cool. I love that weapon. That was my favorite melee weapon. My other one that I really, really liked was his chainsaw shield, one of my favorite weapons and the most essential weapon / defensive kind of armor weapon. It's very, very used in this game. If you don't use that shield, you will lose and you will die badly. This shield is a very important part of the character of Doomslayer in this. Because you got to remember, the Doomslayer in this is the beginning of the legend. He hasn't been imbued with all the crazy powers that the makers end up putting in him in, what do you call it, like 2016 and 2018 when he becomes who he is and he ends up killing the icon of sin and all that stuff. He has not yet become that powerful. He is still... He's powerful. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. He is over fucking powered. But he's still not on that level yet. So he's still younger. He's still not at his full potential, his full strength. He's not quite there yet. But really, really cool. Loved all the weapons. Loved all the characters. Loved all the enemies. Loved all of it. This game is a 9.9 out of 10, like I said. If you guys are into anything that sounds like this, I suggest you go play it. This is probably one of the best games of this year, the best game in the past 2 and possibly even 3 years. This is one of the best games I've played from Doom. And like I said, this is number 2 on my list of all the Doom games. Out of the 3 and out of all the Doom games. I'm talking all the way back to the originals. Doom 1, 2, all of that. I mean, all of it. Doom 3, doesn't matter. Every single game, you line it all up. I still have Doom Eternal at 1. This game's at 2. This game is amazing. And it's right under Doom Eternal for me. It's like almost neck to neck. It's literally almost tied. Like they're almost like this. So if you enjoyed Doom Eternal, if you enjoyed Battle of the Gods Part 1 and 2, if you enjoyed that, if you enjoyed Doom 2016, you are going to love the shit out of this game. With that being said, guys, that is my mullet style review of the Doom the Dark Ages game. That is what I think about it, and that is my rating. If you all enjoyed my review and thoughts on this, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and share. Post your comments down below. Let me know what you all thought about this, and as always, I will catch you on the next video. Peace.